Excel tables is a very useful feature of Microsoft Excel, and it allows you to store and analyze data in the tool. Sometimes you might need to use data from Excel tables in your calculations, formulas, or somewhere in whatever you're trying to accomplish. In this tutorial, we'll look at how you can quickly reference data from Excel tables in your formulas. To better understand how to work with Excel tables, we need to understand key components of Excel table. By default, Excel tables consist of three elements. We have Excel table header row, table data, which is highlighted in yellow color, and then we have table totals rows. Header row is designed for sort and filtering, and also it is designed so it shows you top row and column names at all times. For example, if you have more rows that can fit on the screen and you need to scroll, you see that the header row now shows up as part of the embedded Excel column names. Excel header row also provides you capability with sort and filtering of the data, very similar to sort and filtering of the typical Excel range that was available in Excel before. Excel tables typically have banded rows, meaning that each other row is a different color, so you can quickly understand and easily manipulate with the data. You can change the style of this in the table design options. There are a lot of different styles available. You just need to highlight the style that you would like to see, and it changes automatically for that particular table. Excel tables project calculations to the entire row. For example, we have estimated column and we have actuals column. Typically in the range, what you would need to do if you need to calculate the difference between estimated and actuals, you would need to insert another column, maybe call it difference. And in the typical Excel range, you would need to put formula in each one of these rows. In Excel table, you only need to put formula in just one cell in the new row. For example, your formula might be B2 estimated minus actual. And as you can see, Excel automatically calculates the values for all rows by just you inserting the formula into one of the cells. As you can see, the way Excel references Excel columns is also very different. Instead of referencing them as the particular value, for example, of the cells, maybe B2 minus C2, Excel references them as at estimated in square brackets minus at actuals. This is called structured reference in Excel tables. Excel table also contains totals row, and typically totals uses subtotal function to reference Excel values in this particular column. If we look closely at the syntax of subtotal function, you see that it followed by the number, and also we reference the column, specific column. In our case, it's an estimated column. That's the subtotal we are looking at. So this number has a meaning. If you look to the right, there are different values of formulas that could be used within subtotal. For example, value corresponding to 109 is sum function. So the way you should read this function and structure the function is by looking at this cross-reference, and 109 means sum. And in our case, subtotal means that this would be sum of the estimated values within the estimated column. Another cool feature subtotal function provides is that you can reference it with the same syntax anywhere in Excel. Because table name is unique, you can just copy subtotal or type it in manually and paste it anywhere in your Excel spreadsheet. For example, if I copy this and then paste it somewhere else, you will see that the value, and I just need to expand it so I can see it, is a little bit different because it references the table name, which is company expenses, but it uses 109, which is the sum function, and also sums up all the values from the estimated column. If you would like to be able to solve your problems faster, please make sure to check out my ebook store and download ebook on the related topic. All links to the ebooks are in the description of this video. On the surface, Excel table structured references syntax might look similar to regular Excel formulas, but it provides some important differences as well. Excel table values could be referenced through structural references. Typically, you would need to provide table name and then structured specifiers, and there are 5 typical structured specifiers. To access entire table, you just need to use #all specifier. To access data rows, #data, headers, #headers, totals would be #totals, and for specific row, you just need to use #this row specifier. For example, if you need to reference any part of the table data, you would need to type equals, then table name, and then double square brackets. And you will see that in this row, you can use one of the specifiers. You can also use any columns. There are 4 columns in this table: operating expenses, estimated, actual, and category. And you can use any one of those 5 specifiers that I mentioned. For example, if you want to access headers, you just click headers, and then you close square brackets. You don't need to reference table name, so you can just close it and hit enter. And you see that all headers have been replicated here in this particular Excel formula. One important consideration here is that Excel formulas that reference table can spill. For example, it used to be that formula will only populate the value inside one cell, but we have the formula in this cell, F4, and it extended or spilled into cells G4, H4, and also I4. Because headers have 4 different columns in this particular Excel table. Same way, a lot of times if you reference the data might spill as well, and subtotals might spill as well. So anything that you reference within Excel table might spill over, and you should keep it in mind when you're using those formulas and structured references. Frequently, you need to refer to entire Excel table using formulas. To refer to the entire Excel table and formula, you need to use all specifier. The syntax would be equal table name, and in square brackets you would specify £all. For example, in this spreadsheet, I have table named company expenses. To replicate this table, I just need to type equal the name of the table, and then as I open square bracket, it shows me different options. One of them is £all. So when I select this option and then close the square bracket and hit enter, it basically refers to the entire table, which includes header portion of the table, data portion of the table, and then also subtotals portion of the table. It also spills over, meaning that it's not just in one cell where the formula results are, but the results are spilling over and containing as much space as the original table. A lot of times, you may need to only refer to the data portion of Excel table. You can refer to the data portion of Excel table in multiple different ways. You can refer to the entire data portion by using syntax equal table name and then in square brackets £data. You can also refer to the specific column of the data portion of the table by using this syntax down below, which would be equal table name and in double square brackets £data, comma, and then specific column name. In my example here, I have table named company expenses, and the data portion of this table is the portion that's outside of the table header and table subtotals, which is highlighted here on the screen. To refer to the entire data portion of the table, I need to type equal and then company expenses, which is the table name, and then in square brackets, I just need to highlight the data portion and then close the square bracket. And then it spills over and represents the entire data portion of the table. It replicates it in the column F through I. I can delete it by deleting the values here, and then it clears it off. And if I need to refer to the specific column, let's say actual, I need to use a little bit different syntax. I would need to type it equal, then type it the table name, specify that I am still referring to the data portion, but I will be opening double square brackets. I would specify data, and then after the comma, I would specify the name of the column I'm interested in. In my case, it would be actual. And as you can see, Excel allows me to finish typing, and this would be the final syntax because Excel highlighted the actual row. I just need to hit enter to complete the formula. And as you can see, it replicated the data portion of the actual column of the company expenses table. I would like to hear back from you. Which topics would you like me to cover on this channel? Could you please post them in the comments of this video? Thank you very much. Often, you may need to access Excel table totals in the formula. To refer to totals section of Excel table, you would need to specify the table name after the equal sign, and in square brackets add £totals. Sometimes you may need to also specify a specific column of the totals section that you would like to reference. So let's look how can you do it for company's expenses table. In this table, we have two totals in the row 21. The estimated total in the amount of $207,695 was calculated as a sum of all the rows in the column B. An actual total was calculated the same way. Now let's say that we need to reference these two values. To reference both values, you would need to type equal sign, name of the table, and then in square brackets, you would need to type totals, and then close the square brackets. And it brings the entire totals row. As you see, column A doesn't have anything. Column B has the total for estimated values, and column C has total for actual values. So it actually copied all four values from the totals row, starting from the column F. To reference total for the actual column only, you would need to specify equal sign, then company expenses table, reference the Excel table name, then open double square brackets and reference totals, close the first square bracket, and after comma, specify a specific column that we're looking for. In our case, this is actual, and then close the double square brackets and hit enter. And you see that using this formula syntax, we specified and referenced the total for the actuals column of the company expenses table. Sometimes you might need to access totals for the specific row in Excel table. To reference specific row where the cursor is located in Excel table, you would need to use specifier pound this row. The syntax might be table name and then in square brackets pound this row. This will bring back and reference all the columns in the current row for this Excel table. But you can also reference specific column if you would like to. You would need a second specifier here. And in this example, this is the particular table named company expenses. Pound this row, that will indicate that we will be referencing something that's located in this specific row. And then this would be the name of the table column, which is actual in our example. So let's look at this in more details. For example, this is the table that we're trying to reference, and let's say that my interests are in the technology items, and I'm specifically interested in referencing estimated value in the technology row for the internet expenses. To do that, I would need to start with the equal sign and then reference the name of the table, which is company expenses. I would also need to open up the double square brackets and say that I am interested in this row values. And then I am going to close the square brackets and open another square bracket here to specify which particular column I'm interested in. Instead of referencing the column by B, I'm going to be referencing column by the actual name, which would be estimated. And when I close double square brackets, that should return the exact value of $3,445. If you would like to reference the entire row, not just specific column, what you can do, you can say that you start with the equal sign and then type the table name, and here you just say that you would like to get the values for this row. And this is the specifier, so we just need to close the bracket and hit enter, and it returns all four columns from the Excel table, starting from operating expenses, which are maintenance and repair that match this particular row, estimated, actual, and category. If you found this content valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and share with your friends to help them learn faster. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.